now with a matchup that over the last few seasons has become a heavyweight tilt between the Lions and the Blue Bombers. Winnipeg's tale of the tape so far this season has not been that impressive. On the other side, BC, they've been deadly offensively, and they're getting another dangerous weapon back.
Yet another weapon to this powerhouse offense for Vernon Adams. Keon Hatcher, perennial 1,000-yard receivers. 2 years in a row he had over 1,000, is back ahead of schedule from an Achilles injury, and a guy that's just flat good for the league. Former BC Lion, second stint with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Lucky Whitehead is back in the starting lineup.
Mike O'Shea's Bombers winless on the road so far this season, but they are 2-2 at home, so they'll try to improve to one game above 500 at Princess Auto Stadium tonight against that man, Rick Campbell, coming off a bye week after a 25-24 loss in Calgary that snapped a 5-game winning streak for the Lions. Already here early in the season, we mentioned Lucky Whitehead back, Keon Hatcher back. That is a lot of fun and a lot of talent on the field. 31 degrees at kickoff and over 31,000 in attendance for the Bombers and the BC Lions. Second meeting of the season between these two clubs. BC coming away with a 26-24 victory back in week 3. Sergio Castillo set to get us rolling here at Princess Auto Stadium. Thursday Night Football underway. Thank you very much for joining us. This will come down to Terry Williams. Williams back to the 25. 35, bounces off a tackle and is taken down just outside the 35, and that is where Vernon Adams Jr. will get his first crack at it tonight.
Yeah, leading passer in the league, Vernon Adams Jr. at 2,395 yards passing, 14 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Outstanding touchdown to interception ratio. 5 games this year, Vernon Adams has been over 300 yards passing, and he's coming off the bye week.
One of those games over 300 was against Winnipeg in week 3. Starts here on his own 37, has Stanback to his right, fakes the handoff on the run out to his right, deep shot down the field, looking for Barry Hill, and Ford got a hand on that and batted away as the BC Lions looking to do what they do best early in the game, and that was connect on a deep shot.
Yeah, absolutely, and went right after Tyrell Ford out there, who's leading the Bombers in interceptions and putting together a very good 24 campaign. He is beat initially, but catches up, is careful not to screen, although that left hand was up there for a while. Played the ball, touched it, no penalty flag, no challenge.
Bounces off the helmet of Barry Hill. 2nd and 10. Adams, quick completion, great tackle right on the spot though by Bonds. And Hollins will be stopped a couple of yards short. He had just one catch in that loss to Calgary a couple of weeks ago. Has one here early in this one.
Yeah, just trying to take that shot early, maybe sending a message to the Bomber defense that Vernon Adams is going to go after the deep ball a couple times tonight, try to back off the DBs and then go back with the slant. This will be short and they'll have to kick. You mentioned, though, second game between these two teams. They'll play once more late in the season. Yeah. If BC wins this one tonight, they get the season series.
Winnipeg love to make sure that doesn't happen. Here's Case on the return. And he's clobbered after finding a little bit of space and a decent return. Zach Kolaris had some good games, but still overall trying to get this team on track.
Yeah, and I heard Matt Dunnigan, our Hall of Fame quarterback on the panel, say and talk about Zach playing well enough to win against Toronto. And there's been a few games like that where he's had to kind of soldier through, was the words that Matty used, because that's exactly what happened in Toronto. He took a beating. They gave up 5 sacks. Only happened 3 times as a starter in Winnipeg that they've given up that many sacks. But there was a lot of hits outside of those sacks.
Least of their worries last week. This completion to Josh Johnson doesn't go anywhere. Let's take a look at his Winnipeg starting offense.
Kendall Randolph will play at right guard up front. Patrick Neufeld is out, so another change in that O-line, and no surprise that they open up with a quick throw, get the ball out of Zach's hands. And there's the guy that I think everyone's looking forward to see. Both fan bases know this guy really well. Lucky Whitehead is a big star and a fan favorite in BC. They went in a different direction. He's back with Winnipeg for the second time. Boy, the fans in this country love Lucky Whitehead.
Went to BC looking for more opportunity, got it, made the most of it. Now finds himself back here. Collaros dumps it off to Brady Oliveira. Oliveira trying to find some space on the far side. And he is tripped up by Ben Hladek before he could get a first down. But Brady Oliveira through the air, well over 200 yards already this season.
Real good hustle, as you see coming out of the backfield. Just a little check down for Collaros. He steps up, hits the check down, but a nice tackle by Hladek to hold Brady Oliveira, the leading rusher in the CFL, short of the first down.
In that week 3 matchup, Oliveira caught 6 balls for over 50 yards. So he was involved, also had almost 100 on the ground. So big game for Brady, even though it ended up in a loss for the Bombers. This kick, not a good one. That's off the side of the foot of Jamison Sheen and bounces out right at midfield. Oh, juicy field position coming up here for Vernon Adams and the BC Lions early in this football. Got to be this guy after what he did to them in week 3.
I mentioned his 300-yard games off the top, and one of them, almost a 400-yard game, was against the Bombers early in the season. And the guy who went off as a receiver there was Alexander Hollins. 3-13. Kept some of these defensive backs in Winnipeg up at night, I would guess, after that one.
215 yards on 7 catches, 2 touchdowns in that game for Hollins. Just a 21-yard kick from Jamison Sheen, and that's why BC starts right at midfield. There he is, Keon Hatcher back in the game. Gets hit, hangs on to it at the 50. Let's take a look at this BC offense.
That's exactly what Keon Hatcher wants. They get Michael Couture back, so he'll play center. Tyler Packer will go over to left guard, and that's exactly what Keon Hatcher wanted to have happen in his first touch of this game. Get the mental demons out of your head. You take that first hit. Jordan Maximic, the offensive coordinator, has himself another weapon. 11
touchdowns for Hatcher over the last 2 seasons. 2nd and 4 here for VA from the Winnipeg 49. And that one underneath the hands of the intended target, Aiden Eberhardt. And that will bring up another 3rd down for BC. And they'll punt it away.
Mention OC Jordan Maximic, and I had a good talk with him this week about what he's seeing trend-wise from all defenses in the league, including Winnipeg. And he said blitz, blitz, and more blitz. The defensive coordinators in this league are forcing quarterbacks for quick throws, quick plays, or to try and avoid that blitz with a hot route. I'm surprised to see it tonight.
Flintoff hangs this one up there. Case takes it at the 12. Flag on the play. And he takes it back outside the 20-yard line for Zach Collaros.
When you think about Zach Collaros, we talked about the pressure, and that has been a difference maker, but this is unfamiliar territory for him in a big, big way. Going back to last year, started the season 5-2 in his first 7. They've been to the Grey Cup, all those appearances. He's used to the protection up front and veteran receivers that he has great chemistry with. Both of that has changed.
It picked up that no yards flag, and now Brady Oliveira pushing ahead, stopped just shy of the 30. Nice chunk on first down for Brady.
Well, and what has now started to come back that has been part of the formula for Winnipeg is number 20. He started hurt the season. He started hurt. He wasn't quite right. He wasn't quite himself, and it showed in the numbers, and it also showed in the personality of this offense. Then they started getting hit with injuries, and this is not to give the Bombers an excuse for this record, because every team deals with injuries. Every team has to make changes and deal with the changes. But he is back in form. Again, leading the league now, and back at the Brady Oliveira we're used to seeing.
Needs a couple more here. He's got it. There's a flag, though, as he takes it ahead for a first down. That flag back by Zach Collaros. And it's coming back on a hold.
Winnipeg number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Chris Kolinkowski, the center. He gets a piece of the D tackle and the left hand is right in front of Zach Collaros here. Obviously the center. Kolinkowski, watch the left hand right there. It was on Josh Banks. Defensive tackle takes that run off the board and a first down.
Josh Banks, Marcus Moore in the middle of this BC Lions defensive line. Haladic just in behind him. 2nd and 12 for Collaros now. Lions are going to bring 6. Flag as Collaros gets picked up and taken down on the play. It was Haladic who got there. We'll see what this flag is.
Offside, Winnipeg number 80. Penalty is declined. It's a 3rd down.
Haladic's first sack of the season.
Haladic moves from his middle linebacker spot and he shows up right in the line of scrimmage. He starts here and then he slides to the line of scrimmage where he's sitting right there, and then he just takes off and is unblocked. I mean, he goes for the inside shoulder of Stanley Bryant, who doesn't have time to redirect and get him with that right arm, and he gets that free run right to number 8.
Yeah, you don't see many guys slip by Stanley Bryant at that left tackle position. BC trying to win a field position battle here in the early going of this one at Princess Auto Stadium. Jamison Sheen last time out, just a 21-yard kick. Needs a better one here, and he's got it. That's going to back Williams up inside his own 50. Near sideline. Flag on the return. Stayed on his feet through a couple of tackles. And that's taken down inside the 45. Giving the details on that flag. When we return, Ben Haladic. A rough ride for Zach Collaros early.
Says that he's grateful for the experience because he proved to himself yet again that he's a grinder that can overcome any obstacle, and he describes his return tonight as coming full circle, as of course he suffered that injury right here in what used to be IG Field, and so it's like, yeah, it's coming back to the scene of the crime as he described, and this will be a good feeling for him if he can get a touchdown ball or a honey bun. 100-yard game for Keon Jr. for the memory.
Oh, that'd be a nice way to start, wouldn't it? Handoff here to Stanback, pushing ahead.
So Keon Hatcher will go back to his spot in the offense, his spot on the field. So basically, for the most part, now there's change motion and they'll move around. But Justin McInnes had filled in for Keon Hatcher at the slot back position in the short side of the field with Alexander Hollins. So they work together. Now Keon Hatcher goes back to work with Hollins in the short side, and they'll move McInnes to the field side slot back position.
And a Flair Stanback out as well. Bobbled snap. Adams settles it down, and that is batted away. Nice defensive play from Evan Holm to make sure that didn't find its way in to Alexander Hollins.
I think Evan Holm is having an all-star season. You know, if we were voting right now, 31 would get one of my votes for sure. He is a guy who is avoiding the penalty, but has the quickness to break downhill and break up passes like that. That was a laser to Hollins, and he got there first.
5th knockdown of the season for Holm. Case takes this on the 15.
Oh,
and he gets popped at the end of it. The BC Lions not messing around here.
Ace Ely, that's the 2nd time. The last one, too, was exactly the same guys colliding after a good return by Cody Case. And then bam, 41 just steps in there. That's how you get in the defensive lineup. Play great on the teams.
That'll eventually get you in there, won't it?
Well, it'll get Cody a ice bag or two as well.
Collaros 2 for 2 to start this game, but just for 7 yards. That first completion he had actually went for -3. Then he found Brady Oliveira out of the backfield for 11.
See what this flag is. They're taking some time working this one out.
Back to Bombers up here.
Misconduct foul, 15-yard penalty against Winnipeg number 94.
Wow.
It's half the distance to goal. First down, Winnipeg.
It's Devin Adams.
Yeah, and you know the coach will go over to talk to Mr. Adams immediately. That's not a penalty the Winnipeg Blue Bombers traditionally get. Not under O'Shea, and there's Adams with the late hit.
So Winnipeg starts in their own 11. Kolaris, traffic in his face, and throws it behind Josh Johnson. Let's take a look at this BC Lions defense.
Sione Tehema got a couple sacks in the last game they played, and that got him on the board for the first time this year. So he's got 2 on the season. Got off to a slow start in that department, but was playing well. Ben Holatic leads the team in tackles, will be important in the matchup with Brady Oliveira tonight. And they're going to move Adrian Green from safety to halfback. Christophe Bellieu will play at free safety, his first start tonight. See if Zach Kolaris can get some time. They might test that safety, see if he's deep as the deepest.
Bombers averaging just over 20 points per game this season. That is the lowest total in the Canadian Football League.
Procedure, Winnipeg number 69. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
That's Kendall Randolph.
Timer, please hold the clock until the stop.
Drawing in to the lineup out of Alabama, 25-year-old.
We have 7:10 left in this opening quarter, and the Bombers have yet to register a first down. And they're flirting with this field position. You know, that's the most important goal right now for Winnipeg. Get the fans involved a little bit, couple of first downs, and at least try and get some field position back, because you know eventually Vernon Adams is going to put it in the end zone.
Might be difficult here. 2nd and 15. 3-man pressure over the middle. Lucky Whitehead. Nice little burst. Turns it upfield. They will be shy of the first down and have to punt it away one more time.
Well, this is a great way to get him the ball, get started. You know, because of the penalty, they're second and plus yardage, but you do that on first down a couple of times and it pulls the linebackers closer to those short crossing routes, which opens up routes in behind the linebackers.
A little bit of breathing room for Jamison Sheen on his 3rd punt of the ball game. Williams waits back on his own 40 for the BC Lions. Got that one away just in time. Williams takes it cleanly. A little bit of space near sideline, and he's hammered back to midfield on the return, but another excellent spot to start here. Good field position for the BC Lions. Dangerous offense that's been contained. More than 300 Canadian Armed Force members and their families in attendance.
Yeah, a bunch of the members from 17 Wing, from CFB Winnipeg, the C-130 Hercules drive or flyby, and showing us a little bit of parachuting. This is a SARS text group, which is search and rescue, scuba diving, medical response, rope rescue, wilderness. When fires happen in the province, they send in the military. Thank you guys and girls for your service. Look at this.
Interception, far side. Ford takes it away from VA. And for Terrell Ford, it's his 3rd of the season, but more importantly, it provides a spark to the crowd here in Winnipeg.
Talking about Tyrell Ford putting together a great 2024 campaign. He sits off this with great confidence. He's protecting against the deep ball to Hatcher, and when Hatcher runs the out, the ball's a little bit late from Vernon Adams Jr. He tries to sling it out there without looking, and Ford cuts underneath, his 3rd, and that leads the Bombers.
6th interception of the season thrown by Vernon Adams Jr. And Ford having an excellent first half. 4 knockdowns in addition to now the 3 interceptions. And Winnipeg, see if their offense can get something going here. Defense has done the job. Perseus on the far side takes it just outside the 40. Short pickup on that wide side throw from Zach.
Yeah, just want to thank the men and women in the military that are here, over 300, and all of the men and women in the military. The world isn't getting any safer if you're watching the news, and every time that something happens, whether it's a wildfire or something overseas or wherever it may be, we send in the military and they represent the country well. I got a chance to be around them for some time, and every time I walked away from those meetings, I thought I can do better, because that's the type of people they are.
2nd and 7, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have the first down of the ball game. Josh Johnson gets this one
Yeah, I mentioned that the Bombers had not registered a first down. Neither had the Lions, and they have not registered a first down either. That's the first of the game for both teams. We have one interception on the board already.
Third target of the game for Johnson. Caught 5 of 6 last week, so he's starting to get a little bit more in tune with Zach Collaros. Winnipeg up to their own 49. 3 options out. The wide side left here for Zach. Fakes the handoff. Drops back in the pocket. Now goes back out to Johnson again. Johnson cuts inside a Lacombo and then is knocked down by Pete Robertson.
Well, Zach's going to have to get some confidence with these new guys. I mean, whether it's Clercius or Johnson or even Lucky Whitehead now, who's starting his first game back with the Bombers. They've sort of worked him along slowly to get back in the starting lineup, but they have to kind of do it out of necessity now. I mean, Drew Latarski out, Kenny Lawler out, Dalton Schoen out. Really, the only guy that Zach's really used to is Nick Dembski in the starting lineup tonight.
And Dembski does not have a touch just yet. Empty backfield this time for Collaros. Brady Oliveira clears out to the right. They've got it for a first down and more. Oliveira takes it down inside the 35. Biggest play of the game for the Bombers offense.
Well, that sudden change can just inject some enthusiasm into your team, whether it's on offense or the special teams. You get the pick defensively, you change field position. A block punt or an interception, the quickest way to change field position. Tyrell Ford provided that, and the offense is on a roll.
20-yard pickup for number 20. Second catch of the game. He's already got 31 yards through the air, does Brady Oliveira. Bombers appear to be in business from the 37. Collaros back to his running back again, and he's forced out of bounds on the far sideline by Lacombo and Archibald.
Now, that wasn't as clean as I think they would have liked it. It just looked like, I think Christian Covington got involved here and just threw off the timing a little bit, or that might have been a bigger gain. Although that's a real manageable second down situation for Zach Collaros. Got him on the move a little bit. Buck Pierce is moving him, rolling him out a little bit more. Trying to get him away from harm's way.
They need 6 more for a first down. Collaros will have 4 options out to his left. Looks in that direction. Throws that way. Hauled in by Ontario Wilson, but he'll be 3 yards shy of the first down.
Patrice Rene with a big hit there to cut him down and not let him spin out of that. He was only a couple of yards short of getting a new set of downs here.
Pretty good spot. They're going to be 2 yards shy, but they're still going to trot Castillo out there.
That's a good open field tackle. Don't let Wilson get his feet on the ground and a chance to give you a wiggle.
Yeah, you got to lock him up right there.
Absolutely.
So after the interception from Ford, the Bombers move the ball down to at least give Castillo a crack at it from 37. Missed 2 of 4 last week. This one from just inside the left hash. And that one is up, and it's off the upright and in.
He'll take it.
Oh,
He'll take it.
Ding and in for Sergio Castillo. And the Bombers are on the board.
They don't count them how, they just say how many. And there's one for one tonight. They have a bit of an issue in the overtime game in Toronto, but he flirted with it and then bam, bounced, and he called it. I think he called it.
Yeah, as it went up, he yelled out, "Doink!"
Yeah, it's good.
And then it hit.
Look at this.
And
Look
it
at
went
this.
in.
Yeah, I'll take it. Get back on track any way you can.
Cutting it close from 37, but they knock it through. Lions start here on their 40. Stanback takes the handoff. Against this Winnipeg defense.
Still trying to find a replacement for Jackson Jeffcoat. Tajuan Garbutt is going to start at that position opposite Willie Jefferson. Reda Kramdy's having a big season of linebacking core. Tony Jones is in his second start, and Terrell Ford already on the board tonight with a pick, his third in the campaign.
2nd and 6 for the Lions. Adams in the pocket, down the middle, almost intercepted again. McInnes might have saved the day there as Nichols was looking for his 2nd of the season.
Well, this is the bender, they call it, and it's Justin McInnes's bread and butter. He's the 3 receiver closest to the offensive line here, and he loves this bender route right over the middle. A little bit of a dig route as he tries to find a soft spot, but teams are starting to get wise to it, and they're jumping it.
That is the 5th consecutive 2-and-out for the BC Lions to start this ball game. Flintoff, nice kick. Spirals down, backs Case up, takes it at the 10. Cody Case stays on his feet all the way up beyond the 30. There's a flag on the far side of the field during the return with 43 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Good job by this Bombers defense. So far in the ball game, they allow 3rd fewest points in the league so far this season. They've done a great job shutting down Vernon Adams so far.
Winnipeg number 45. 10-yard penalty. First down, Winnipeg.
By the way, that route that Justin McInnes has worked so well this year, what he can do as sort of a second step to that is make it look like he's running the same. There's the clip in the back to the left, and he could take that same route, look like he's going to do the bender over the middle, and then take it right down the seam. Little fake and then right down the seam. Now Vernon Adams is going to need time to make that throw, but that's how you sort of beat the tendency.
Collaros starting to settle into his 7 completions in a row. This time they'll hand it off to Brady Oliveira, and he's tackled almost immediately by Josh Banks. A little bit of a defensive battle brewing here between the Lions and the Bombers.
So far. Both teams kind of walking around the ring, looking at each other right now.
Just a little bit of a stare down here.
Yeah, they're just kind of walking around, shuffling.
It's a little jab once in a while. That's it.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's Rocky 3. Here's Collaros. Deep shot down the field. Laying out for it. Did he go get it? He did. Ontario Wilson. When it didn't look like it was possible. An unreal effort. And he hauls it in right at the end of the first quarter.
It really was. What a great effort to track that one down. He just went after that football.
Collaros just sort of threw it up and said, go get it.
Full blitz, he had to. He couldn't block them all. He threw it up, and he thought Wilson, I thought he overthrew him. I thought he overthrew him by 10. And Wilson dug in and went and got that.
It goes for 35 yards into the hands of Ontario Wilson. And the Bombers with a lead at home at the end of the first quarter. 3-0 over the BC Lions. How about that? 0 first downs for the Lions.
Yeah, you never see that, especially with this offense and what they've been doing all season and the return of Keon Hatcher. You would think that it would be explosive. Not so. Full credit to the Winnipeg defense in the first quarter. And that, when you consider the Lions had the edge in field position in a big way throughout that entire first until the Tyrell Ford interception.
I mean, any first down really with that great field position would have put them in range for Sean White, and they just couldn't really get there. Let's take one more look at this Ontario Wilson catch.
Yeah, and it looked like he might have had some help from the turf here, which would make this incomplete. You see the ball roll forward. He does a real good job of trying to cover it up here, but I think if Rick Campbell would have challenged that immediately, he probably would have won.
Strebler into the game, picks up a yard or 2 on a first down carry.
Now when we go into commercial or changing quarters like that, the coach only has so much time that he can challenge, and then that disappears. So
he can't sit there the entire quarter, get 9 looks at it.
Exactly. And like I said, Wilson really covered that up. He sold that. He sold it in a big way.
Heck of an effort regardless.
Absolutely.
Just a yard for Strevler. Kolaris back into the game. Dembski in the slot to his right, doesn't have a target or a touch yet in this one. Lions are going to bring 6. Kolaris gets it away. Lucky Whitehead has it, and he's about a yard shy of a first down, and Strevler immediately out onto the field.
He's out there by himself. With the help from the slot back inside to clear it out. So he gets the clear out route, and then he's underneath. But the one thing about trying to cover Lucky Whitehead is that you better give him a little space. You got to give him some room. He can go now. He can fly.
2 catches for Whitehead in his return to Winnipeg. Strevler looking for the first down. He's got it. And Winnipeg's offense will stay on the field. Josh Banks clearing somebody out.
Yeah, no penalty, and the fans here hate it.
I don't think any official saw it. Everybody's kind of looking the other way.
Dave Wallace, extra lineman, working on Josh Banks, and Banks kind of steamrolled him backwards. Looked like after the whistle, and no flag.
1st and 10 for Kolaris on the BC 49. Flag as he gets it to Lucky Whitehead, bouncing, bobbled, but brought in. Whitehead turns it upfield down inside the 35 for what would be a first down. As we mentioned, 2 flags actually. Back by the 50.
Offside, BC number 94. Penalties declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Going against BC.
Josh Archibald moving early there. And Lucky Whitehead looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Nope, caught it a couple times here. He only gets 1 catch for this, but popped it up and then stuck with it. With the first man miss, and then away it goes. And again, great speed. That's why he's getting that room underneath.
Kolaris has completed 10 in a row. He's 12 for 13 for 103 yards. There's another one, this time to Johnson. Johnson, the burst up the field, and he's got another Winnipeg first down as the Bombers march on.
He's slow to get up. And the training staff's going to have to come out.
Training staff will take a look at Josh Johnson bounces right back up. Looks like he's going to be okay.
But they're out there. He's got to come out for 3 plays.
We'll be back to Princess Auto Stadium. All time now in CFL passing yards.
Now the guy ahead of him now is very close to returning. Not this weekend, maybe not even next weekend, but very close to returning. So that number is going to be moving. Kolankowski is out with an injury. The training staff walked him off as well.
1st and 10 from the BC 22. Brady Oliveira gets spun around and taken down. Lacamo in the mix there.
The way the Bombers season has gone, you really felt like against this high-powered BC offense, it certainly isn't that tonight. They needed a good start. Deep in their own end for the entire first quarter, but basically their defense kept Vernon Adams out of the end zone, or out of field goal range for that matter.
VA's only completed 2 passes in this ball game so far. Tuili in at center for the Bombers. Kolaris down the field has Wilson wrapped up immediately by Ciante Evans.
Well, Wilson's become a player. Pokey Wilson is the guy that, replaced Lawler and has become that big play threat for Zach Kolaris really quickly. In his last 3 games, almost 400 yards, 5 plays over 20 yards, and that big catch that counted as a catch. And that's the one that put Zach into number 18 all time.
They call him Pokey because he looked like a Pokemon when he was a baby.
Yeah.
I ran both Sticky and Manitoba Wilson by him on a college week. He liked both of them. He's a very happy guy. Here's Strembler, third down, trying to push ahead. Oh, did the BC Lions stop him?
Well, that was an issue against Toronto, wasn't it?
There was not much of a push there. This comes down to the spot. Kind of just sort of assumed that Strembler would push ahead and get it. BC Lions,
BC's
they
ball.
got her done.
Wow.
Lions defense with a huge stop as the Bombers and Zach Collaros moving down the field in fine fashion. But the short yardage team can't get there. Strembler couldn't find the space. For the second week in a row, Strembler and Winnipeg short yardage team coming up empty.
Patrice Rene got his legs, and when he got his legs off the edge there, just coming right around that corner real quick, that stopped the momentum, and then he got help from his friends, including Hladik, and yeah, short yardage fails the Bombers one more time.
BC will take over on their own 12. Adams lays one out there near side, and that's into the hands of Keon Hatcher, who looks like he is most certainly back.
Yeah, you got to take a look at how he's running. He took a hit. His first play of this game was a quick curl route where he took a big hit, so he got that out of the way, and there's a little bit of what we remember from Keon Hatcher the last couple of years.
That's the first down of the game for the BC Lions. Over 20 minutes to get it. Adams in the pocket. Now he's going to take off on the run. In trouble and taken down just outside the 30. Dietrich Nichols was there.
Dietrich Nichols really didn't have a man to cover. He's coming from distance over here, and he doesn't have a man to cover because the Lions are trying to protect what they think is going to be a blitz, so they keep Justin McInnes in. They've got the fullback David Mackey in there, and Dietrich Nichols just said, well, I'll just play the play and go after the guy with the ball in his hands.
Adams still picked up a yard on the scramble. 2nd and 9. Princess Auto Stadium crowd trying to get behind this defense. Adams over the middle, up to the 35 and no further. Gets it to Berryhill, and the BC Lions will have to kick it away once again. This offense stuck in neutral.
Well, you know, we talked about Adams throwing for over 300 yards most of the year, and the one team that changed that was Calgary. Now, Calgary did it with some different strategy. They sent a lot of pressure at Vernon Adams. I don't see that tonight so far from the Bombers. I think they're playing a lot of base defenses, and Vernon Adams has the time, just not pulling the trigger.
VA's only thrown for less than 200 yards twice in his last 22 starts. Case on the return. Can he find room on the far side? No. Tackle made by Rene. And the Bombers offense, after stalling on that last drive, back at it. Zach Collaros, 14 of 15 for 135 yards. He's got his team on top, 3-0. Let's send it down to John Lou.
Yeah, Dustin, that T-shirt that Lucky Whitehead was showing off was given to him by a fan following yesterday's walkthrough depicting Whitehead with said fan at the 2021 West Final at what was then IG Field. And thousands of fans here in Winnipeg will never forget how Whitehead sat in the stands in the north end of the stadium and watched the game with them, even though Whitehead was then a member of the BC Lions. And so, hey, Whitehead winning a Grey Cup with the team in 2019. Fans have always had a soft spot for him. So when he signed onto the practice roster 3.5 weeks ago, Whitehead's been fielding all sorts of questions around town. But hey, welcome back. When are you going to play? Well, now he doesn't have to dodge those questions or sugarcoat his answers anymore, guys.
Yeah, he's back. 3 catches for 32 yards and just an easy landing spot for Lucky Whitehead here soon.
Well, and he's good for the game. I mean, he really is. He's a good guy. He's good in the community. Fan favorite. Was in both markets, and he can play. He can get in behind you.
His quarterback has completed 13 passes in a row. 2nd and 2 here. Into the belly of Brady Oliveira, trying to find some space, pushing ahead, and he's got just enough for a Winnipeg first down. Winnipeg has owned the time of possession so far in this game, pretty much 2-1 in favor of the Bombers.
You can already see the BC defense hands on the hips. It's a hot day here in Winnipeg, and Buck Pierce now's got something going offensively with little mix between Brady Oliveira and Pokey Wilson.
Winnipeg gets the BC Lions here, then a bye, and then the BC Lions out in Vancouver coming off of that bye. Lucky Whitehead, far side, takes it outside the 50. Tackle made there by Lacombo and Adrian Green.
And remember, Lucky Whitehead can also be very dangerous when it comes to the kicking game and punt returns. Get him on the spotlight out there. Real good production on first down.
7 more yards for Lucky's. Caught all 4 targets thrown in his direction. 2nd and 3 as they creep towards midfield, keeping this BC offense off the turf. Back to Oliveira again, straight up the gut, and he's got enough for another Winnipeg first down.
Chris Kolinkowski, by the way, is back in at center. No surprise that on that 2nd and medium, they try and run right behind number 67. Offensive linemen, when they get nicked, they often go right to the bench and they say, just give me an aspirin. I'll tie it right to the knee. I'll just tape it right on the knee.
Put it inside a Band-Aid and put it on the knee.
And then put it on the knee and put me back out there.
More Robertson, Banks, and Tehama back in the game on that defensive line for the Lions. Oliveira patiently this time, and he's got nowhere to go. Marcus Moore all over him.
Well, that's the reason that Rick Campbell beefed up his defensive line in the offseason. The reason was number 20. A lot of teams figuring if we want to get to the top of the heap, it's going to be through Winnipeg, because they have been there for 4 straight years. So we got to be able to stop the run. Ryan Phillips worked on that all off season.
Basically got 2 4-man units that they'll bring in and out as a group. Kolaris in trouble here, hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. It was Tehama who got there and forced Zach to let that one fly. An incompletion for Kolaris.
Yeah, he got real wide, and I think with Lacombo up in the line of scrimmage, see Lacombo there, and just beside him right at the line of scrimmage there is Tehama. It's funny because when we talked to Tehama this week, I tried to keep goading him into talking about the sacks that he just got in their last game. He didn't want to talk about it. I just said, no, but you got on the board in the sack department. He said, I don't care. What I want to do is stop the run. So the BC Lions are drilling that into the D-line, that they want to be better at the run.
They're rolling out Castillo, and they have not messed around with these attempts so far this year. This is going to be a 60-yarder for Sergio Castillo. Already has one this season from just inside the left hash, beyond midfield. Castillo, that kick is up, and it is gone! Sergio Castillo nails another one from 60. A deep shot. Oh my! He nailed that one, didn't he?
Well, you really have to get behind it and drill it. He didn't put much air under this because he couldn't. You got to just nail it, and boy, did he hit it clean. 2 in 1 year at 60 yards.
He's got another one from 57 as well this season.
Plus tonight he called the bounce off the upright, so there was that one too. He's back on track.
One with the doink and one from deep for Sergio Castillo. 2 from 60 in the same season. Unheard of. BC down 6 from the 40. They'll hand it off to Stanback, and he pushes it ahead.
Now, if you're the BC Lions, You have been dominating the time of possession. The Bombers have had the ball twice as long as you have throughout this first half. But here's the bottom line. You're only down by 6. Your defense is keeping you in it.
One big play, and you're in front.
Exactly.
Haven't found that big play just yet. Tried to take a deep shot on the first play of the game. Haven't looked at it again since 2nd and 6 from their own 44. Adams. Eberhardt, first down. Pushes it ahead, almost makes it all the way up to midfield. First downs have been hard to come by for BC so far in this game. From their own 54. Stand back, bobbled it. Brought it back in though and gets it up to the 55. No further, short pickup on first down.
Yeah, you could hear Stanback all the way up here talking about his favorite chocolate fudge or something. Because he juggled that. If he doesn't juggle it, he gets a few more yards.
BC Lions, as we hit the 3-minute warning, looking to find their way onto the scoreboard.
This has been the name of the game so far in this one. Enoch, these are the types of games you like, huh?
I love it. I love it. But I want to see some points on the board.
Whoa, there we go, Enoch.
I do want to see some points.
Yes.
He's the only one that's going to say anything at halftime. As we get you back now to Winnipeg.
Vernon Adams trying to give him something to talk about at halftime right here.
Did Mwamba say he wants points? He's not betraying the defensive side of the ball there, is he?
Just 3-man pressure. VA still in trouble. Spins out of it. Nowhere to go. And finally taken down. Devin Adams. 4th sack of the season for Big 94. With just 3 coming, they managed to get there.
Well, when we were in the break, we were talking about the strength of the defense for the Bombers tonight. I think has been their coverage in the back end. Their defensive backs are just not allowing VA to get in any sort of rhythm. He's looking down the field and is unsure. He's not pulling the trigger, and 3-man pressure eventually will get there.
Flintoff kicks it away, bounces, spins back. Case takes it. And he's clobbered immediately at the 10 with that no yards flag. Sitting right there.
What's up, Ma? Hi, Dad.
No yards. BC number 83. 15-yard penalty. First down, Winnipeg.
Nice season that Adams is putting together. How about this man?
Never happened.
Sergio Castillo. Nobody's ever hit 2 from 60 in their career. He's done it this season. And he's not done yet. They're trotting him out there a lot this year from deep.
On both those kicks from 60, he had enough to probably go to 64, 65.
Well, he's tried one from beyond 60 this year, missed that one. But coaching staff, no hesitation to pretty much trot him out there from anywhere. 2:20 remaining here. Collaros down the field looking for Wilson, broken up by Ciante Evans as he got there at just the right time.
Let's take a look at the one-on-one here with Pokey Wilson. See Ciante Evans slide to that inside. That's great leverage inside. He was anticipating the curl route on his back pedal. He got inside position, so he had a quicker leverage point to the football. That was really nice coverage by the veteran in Ciante Evans.
From the 26 for Collaros, needs 10 here. Backpedaling in the pocket. Now out on the run to his right. Pressure coming from behind. He's going to take off. First down and more. A slide at the 43 for Zach. First down, Winnipeg.
Looked like they were trying to send some pressure, and watch Zach Collaros' right-hand man right here in Brady Oliver pick up the blitz. Great blitz pickup, takes his man out of the rush lane, and away goes Zach.
Winnipeg gets this ball up to their own 43. Sounds ridiculous, but I almost feel like this is already Castillo field goal range. Oliveira stands in to the right of his quarterback. Collaros looks over the middle, finds Wilson down to the 50, 45. And Winnipeg looking efficient here in the second quarter.
Remember when Ciante Evans had Wilson in the one-on-one and he got that inside leverage? This time with a bit of a stem, number 80 gets inside leverage on TJ Lee. Playing a kind of an umbrella-looking type of coverage, but that inside leverage means it's a quicker throw right down the middle for Zach Collaros.
Collaros is at 85% through the air so far in this ball game.
So much of this game is about angles.
172 yards. About 90 seconds left to work. Quickly, Johnson gets a block, takes it down inside the 40. Haladic, Ely there to take him down.
Kevin Clercius is a key block on that play, number 86, and he's going to make the block and also get his hands out of there so he doesn't get called on the holding. See that, number 86 right at the point of attack? That gives Johnson a chance.
Well, there is a flag on the play, I believe. Tim Croker with an announcement.
Procedure, no end. Winnipeg's 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's a formation issue, not a blocking issue.
So they'll back him up, and it'll be 1st and 15 for the Bombers.
Have to have a receiver or tight end on the line of scrimmage to close it off. He can still be moving, but he's got to be on the line of scrimmage.
Nick Dembski in the slot to the left of Collaros does not have a catch yet in this ball game. Move Clercius down to the bottom of your screen. 3 to the left, 3 to the right for Collaros. There's Dembski, got him at the 25. First catch of the ball game, a big one for number 10.
In behind Bo Lacumbo, the linebacker who's dropping underneath this, number 20. He's going to drop underneath, but not deep enough. And watch what Nick Dembski does at the end of it. Both hands around the ball. He's had a little issue with giving it up over the last couple of games. Now, they were forced fumbles both times, but you could see he's been working on it, thinking about it, and protected the football on contact.
Collaros on the verge of a 200-yard first half. 1st and 10 from the BC 23. Back to Dembski again. And he's wrapped up by Green at the 20. That will put Zach over 200 against this Lions defense in the opening half of the ball game.
Well, I've said it many times, but every game, different journey. And you talk about everyone, and what we were expecting to see tonight was fireworks from a Keon Hatcher addition to the BC offense. And you wondered if the Bomber defense was going to be able to just hold their own and maybe get the run game going to get an early start. But it's been all offense for Zach Collaros. The opposite has happened.
Dominated the time of possession. Collaros here on the run, out to his right. Throws it at the feet of Brady Oliveira. With Sione Tehama hot on his trail, flag down inside the 10.
Whenever your instinct you've ever had is wrong, do the opposite. Looks like that flag is down the field in the secondary.
Illegal contact. BC number 6 is declined. Illegal contact. BC number 23 is accepted. It's half the distance goal and a first down.
Couple of plays.
Winnipeg has outgained BC 235 to 55. And now Whitehead to the end zone, touchdown!
Nothing fancy about it. Just a quick curl route and then get the extra 5 on your own. And that's exactly what Whitehead does to score his first major back with the Bombers.
Castile to make the lead 13. Moves it through. And Winnipeg, who's controlled the ball for pretty much the entire first half, finally finds their way in to the end zone. 8 plays, 84 yards in just over 2 minutes. Ends like this.
Let's see the protection. 5-man pressure, well blocked up. Not that Zach Collaros needed a lot of time for this route. It was just a little curl. But again, when you're trying to cover a guy like Lucky Whitehead, you're going to give him some space. And you can see that Patrice Rene was about 1.5 yards, 2 yards off of Whitehead when he caught the curl, and then lost the angle as he got into the end zone.
Against the team that let him go.
Yeah, I think there'd be a little bit of that in there.
Oh, yeah.
I think there'd be a little of that.
Well, he fits in nicely here, doesn't he? Time of possession so far in this football game. Winnipeg, 20 minutes and 13 seconds. The BC Lions, just over 9 minutes.
Wow.
Have not been able to get anything going offensively. Castillo kicks it away. Williams takes it near side, heavy hit, injured player down on the field, very slow to get up. That's Josh Banks.
The Ultra Hole Challenge is back, featuring Wayne Gretzky and Michael Block. Choose your ball now at michelobultrahole.ca.
Banks is back up. He looked like he was out there for a second.
Yeah, both the players involved there are going to have to go through the protocol. They're both needing assistance to leave. It's quite the collision. Those are 2 big men, too. Oh, sorry, right there. Right in the middle of your screen there, you can see. Both players need a little help getting off, so they'll go through the protocol, make sure they're okay before and cleared before they get back on the field.
Brennan Adams, frustrating first half, indeed. 20 seconds to work here. He's in trouble again. Stays on his feet the first time, taken down the second time. Garbutt there. Hubert there. No time for Adams.
Well, it was an inside move by Willie Jefferson that gets things started up front for the Bomber defense. Here they go. He goes up the field, inside move. Great hands to just knock away any attempt to block him by Darrell Broxton, and gets right to VA immediately.
They give the sack to Garbutt, his first in the Canadian Football League. 2nd and 14 as time ticks down here in the first half. They'll hand it off to Stanback. Pushes it ahead just outside the 30. And that will do it for the opening half. And what a stunning opening half from the Bombers defense and the BC Lions offense.
Yeah, big return for Lucky Whitehead, as we saw the BC Lion offense gonna have to go and regroup and start thinking about first downs, not touchdowns, and get back to sort of grinding it out, get a little run game going.
Looking really good. VA on the other side, tough one. 6 of 11 for 47 yards and that 1 interception. Stanback just 4 carries for 23 yards. Hatcher had a couple of catches. Hollins had 1. McInnes didn't have 1. And we're underway here in the 3rd quarter. Case on the return. And he spins his way just outside the 30, where Collaros and the offense will go to work once again, looking to control the second half like they did the first.
20 of 23, 213, so on pace for a 400-yard game and a couple of touchdowns, and that is the type of Zach Collaros numbers we're used to seeing throughout the years.
His high game so far this season, 344. He's got 2 300-yard games so far on the campaign. Start this one on their own 32. 3 options out to his right. That's where he goes. Johnson broke 1 tackle, but Patrice Rene is there to make sure he doesn't break 2.
If you're a Lions fan right now, you're looking at the big picture stats in the CFL to this point in the season starting this week. That 23 of 32 games this year coming into this week have been decided in the final 3 minutes. That's 72% of the games, and there have been 6 comebacks of over 12 points. Now, it doesn't have a stat for 13 points.
Just on the edge of that.
Just on the edge of it.
They've scored 90 points in the second half of the season as BC, so it's out there for the taking. Peters working against Ontario Wilson, and he's able to break it up. So BC Lions defense gets the job done early.
Yes, they do. They get the 2 and out, get started, and get VA the football and see if they can get some traction there. And I am sure Ryan Phillips at halftime went and talked to his defense, said there's 2 things we've got to do a little bit better. We got to be closer in coverage and make a few plays like this down the field, but tackle better on those hitch screens. And they did that on first down and put Zach in 2nd and long.
Jamison Sheen stands and lets this fly from his own 20. Another tough one. That one very similar to the way he started the ball game, and he slices that one out of bounds at the BC 50. 54 is where they actually spotted.
Illegal punt out of bounds. Winnipeg number 18. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down, BC.
They'll add 10 to where it went out of bounds. That should put Vernon Adams in plus territory in the Bombers side of the field.
24 net yards on that kick. Second really bad one of the night for Sheen. And when it happened in the first half, BC couldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, you're right.
See what happens here.
Almost that whole first quarter.
They start on the Winnipeg 46 after the shank from Sheen. On the ground, stand back, bouncing around, gets about half of what they need on that first down carry.
We talked about first downs, stacking first downs, not thinking about coming back with big touchdown throws. Just get that offense rolling, be productive on first down with a little more Williams stand back, and then convert, get a couple first downs in a row, and you start to build that confidence.
Just 1 for 8 on second down so far tonight. They'll move McInnes in the slot to the left of Adams. Looks to the right, throws to the right. It's Hatcher, and that is Evan Holm. That's how you play defense. Timed it perfectly.
It really was great timing, and again, it's that recovery speed coming out of his back pedal. I think he's one of the best in the league at it. Number 31, when he puts his foot in the ground on a back pedal and redirects forward or redirects to turn and chase down a receiver that's on a deep route, either way, he makes up that ground in a hurry.
Sean White, for the first time tonight, called into duty. He's hit 42 in a row. This one from 48, and now they're going to switch things up. A couple of guys are on side here, and White lays it out there far side, and it's hauled in just in time. Cadwallader, flag on the far side of the field as well. We'll sort that out when we return. BC Lions trying some trickery. Decent crack at it.
To get a little deeper into the playbook on this one, Sean White is going to try and just kick this past the line of scrimmage, and the Lions, he executes it very well. I mean, the Lions have Justin McInnes, who can win most jump balls over there, but Tanner Cadwallader made the big play to give it back to Winnipeg. That is not, by the way, an attempted field goal. So Sean White's
streak remains intact.
Yeah.
Changed that rule back in 2017. Down the field, Pokey Wilson's got it at the 50, spins it inside the 45, and they finally take him down.
This is to try and put a little pressure on the safety, Christophe Bellieu, playing his first start at free safety for Adrian Green, who's had to move to halfback, and he's going to get caught here on this crossing route that goes right across his face. He stays high and he doesn't give any help to Gary Peters trying to chase him across the field, and you see him recover to try and get involved and make the tackle.
36-yard completion to Wilson. He's got another 100-yard game, second in a row and third in his last 4. Brady Oliveira now pounding it right up the middle. Takes it down just shy of the 35. Nice pickup on first down.
Bellieu getting a chance. He's a Vanier Cup champion. Went to school at Laval back in 22. His brother played in the Canadian Football League, Jordan as well. Two-time All-Canadian. Very, very good football player, but this is start number 1.
Yeah.
So number 1 is a safety, and start number 1, you get deeper. You usually get deeper than you're supposed to be. And that one right across his face.
Second and 4. Faking it to Whitehead. Strebler pushing it down the field. First down, Winnipeg. As Strebler uses Lucky Whitehead as a bit of a decoy. Keeps it himself and walks it ahead.
Yeah, that is the decoy, and that's a tough one because watch Ben Olatic just totally react to that. Middle linebacker just flew over there to try and get in front of Lucky Whitehead, and Strebler took it the opposite direction.
First downs in this game, 15-2 in favor of Winnipeg. They've completely controlled this game thus far, leading by 13, looking for more, hoping to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Tuck it into the belly of Brady. And once again, pretty good chunk on that first down play.
Now we just got out of halftime where the guys were able to, change undershirts, change t-shirts, get a break, get a breather, get some water, and hydrate. But when the time of possession is so lopsided, I'm already seeing the Lion defenders, especially those D linemen, look at their hands on their hips. That's the first indication that you're trying to get some oxygen. You get your hands on your hips, those big breaths in. Here we go again.
How much rest time there is there? Polaris throws that one away with some pressure right in his face. And that'll bring up third down. And Castillo will trot back out here, looking for his third field goal of the ball game.
Yeah, heads up move by a veteran quarterback to, not feel comfortable with it. He had pressure coming at him. Bo Lacombo's in his face. Didn't want to give up a sack and put more pressure on the field goal attempt. Deliberately threw it away.
Castillo already hit one from 60 and 37. This one from 32, just inside the left hash. That is up. It is through. And the lead at home is now 16. Winnipeg Blue Bombers in full control on both sides of the ball so far here on New York Fries Thursday Night Football. A season for these two Canadians, hasn't it, Suits?
Yeah, two leaders in their categories. Brady Oliveira taking over the lead in the rushing title so far, and Justin McInnes, who does not have a catch tonight, leading all receivers coming into the week. Now there has been a shuffle, as I mentioned off the top, with Keon Hatcher coming back to the lineup.
Hatcher only has 2 catches. Hollins has 1. Adams on the run to his right. Heaves one down the field. Too much juice on it. Looking for Hollins. Working against home.
Now,
and they come up empty.
Now people say, well, hold on. You get Keon Hatcher back. That's a star receiver. That should automatically help. And in theory, absolutely. I mean, but there's still only one ball. And what happens is Vernon Adams, and I'm not giving this offense an excuse, but they take the guy that's been leading the league and move him into a different position and put Keon Hatcher back in his original position. They'll get back in that flow, but maybe Vernon Adams is dropping back saying, hey, this is different routes than I'm used to so far this year.
4 options out to the right for Adams this time. In trouble, Big Hill's there, and they'll take him down again. Started by Big Hill.
A delayed blitz. It was like he looked like he was going to come over here and cover down on standback, but instead he just comes to the line of scrimmage and decides, you know what, I'm going to just shift over here and take away this run lane. I think that might be sack number 50 on his career for Adam Bighill.
First of the season for Big Hill, and the Lions continue to look for answers offensively. Got nothing tonight. Case takes it just inside the 25. Fights his way back up that far sideline before he's thrust out of bounds. Adam Big Hill just keeps on going, doesn't he? On a beautiful Thursday night at Prince. Oh, that's a big feed, Bill, right there.
I'm guessing that's a biggie.
Kolaris. He's been cooking so far tonight. 249 yards and a touchdown. Starting here on the 38. Pump fake. Now over the middle. And that one down to the BC 50. Kevin Scorsius hauls it in. Second catch of the game.
Taking a picture right out of Justin McInnes's book this season. Straight up the field, little bender in behind the linebacking core. Patrice Reneg, I think, got the worst, or was that Adrian Green? A little slow to get up.
6 different receivers now with multiple catches tonight for Winnipeg. Kolaris spreading it around. Wilson got a block from Dembski, pushes it down inside the 45 as Kolaris creeps closer towards a 300-yard outing.
Yeah, they're either going with the hit screens or the run game on first down, and almost every time since the start of the second quarter, they're getting halfway to that first down marker. The hit screen spreads everything out. The run up the middle brings everything back. It's got Ryan Phillips' group kind of chasing right now.
Dembski will swing in behind his quarterback. Johnson goes with him, and they'll give it to Johnson. He trips, bounces back up, and pushes it within a yard or 2 of that first down marker.
Well, if it is a yard, how much confidence does Michael O'Shea have in his short yardage team?
I think it's going to be about 2 and a bit, almost 3.
No question, field goal time.
Yeah. Castillo will come out again. The way he's been kicking it this year from 51. Might be a chip shot for this guy. Hit from 60 earlier. 3 for 3 after going 2 for 4 last week. Nice bounce back night for Castillo as he looks to make it a perfect 4 for 4. This time from 51. That is up, and it is through. Castillo cold-blooded here on Thursday night.
What I'm doing for the rest of my life, 'cause you look like I'm done looking. But girl, the hard truth is that this night don't turn into 2. You look like I'm gonna wind up missing you.
Wind up missing? Not tonight. Castillo 4 for 4. Sean White, with that streak sitting at 42, has not yet attempted a field goal.
Was in position once, and they tried to
Would have been a 48-yarder.
Yeah, tried a little trick play.
You know, going back to that, I mean, you've been shut out so far in this game. 48-yarder with Sean White.
13-0 at the time.
Put 3 points on the board at that point.
Yeah, it's a good discussion. I mean, I probably, if it were me, would take the points.
Yeah.
Easy to do that after it didn't work, of course. So that's usually.
But it'd be nice to have something on the board and say, okay, we're in this. Let's be
exactly.
going down 10.
Again, it was 13-0 at the time, so it'd been 13-3, 10-point game.
Since then, Winnipeg's tacked on a couple more from Castillo. Polaris has thrown for 277 yards in this game. Vernon Adams has thrown for 47.
Wow.
Getting to the later moments of quarter 3. Big return would be a boost. Williams takes it just inside the 10. And it'll take a couple of Bombers to eventually bring him down. It was Gauthier who was there first, leading the way on special teams.
You know, when you break this down, the Bomber defense has provided a little bit of pressure, but it hasn't been from exotic blitzes. I think the DBs for the Bombers have been winning their battles. I mean, this is, remember when Ford got that interception, that really kick-started the entire team in the first half. We've seen some plays made by Evan Holm, and that secondary is locking them down.
This 10-yard misconduct foul for contact with an official against BC 93. 10 yards. First down.
Amir Siddiqui. Explanation for Rick Campbell on the sidelines. Coach Benavides sliding in there as well. And that'll back them up 10 more. Critical drive here for the Lions. Starts on their own 19. Still looking for a sniff of anything. 4 receivers to that wide side right of the field for Adams. That's where he goes. As Hatcher. Tackle made by Evan Holm after a short pickup on first down.
Sure what the penalty was. If you look at right over here, you're not allowed to touch the official in any way. And looked like maybe there was a little chest
bump.
Yeah.
Empty backfield for Adams. Looks to his left, walks in there, goes that way. Was that deflected at the line? That came off wonky, didn't it?
Yeah, and Adams is shaking that hand like it just slipped out of his hand.
You see one come fluttering out there like that. Something off.
Really not any pressure. No tip at the line, and it just, I won't make the quacking noises, but
that was bizarre. 3 straight 2-and-outs to start the half for a Lions team that can't get anything figured out. Case stretches out this return and eventually gets it up to about the 42. Vernon Adams looking at the hand. Can't get it going yet.
Toronto game, the Bombers practiced ball security drills extensively, but it didn't work out in their favor last Saturday. And so on a short week of preparation this week, even though they had limited time to work on it, their ball security was focused in smaller team periods, trying to ensure that they held onto the ball in tight quarters, and we're seeing that come to fruition this evening, guys.
League high 20 turnovers on the season for the Bombers.
yeah, 20 turnovers in a -8. You know, -8 from a team that is never, you know, down the list when it comes to the giveaway takeaway category. They're just leading the league year in, year out because they understand the importance of it. And especially a guy like Nick Dembski, you know, a veteran who just doesn't do it. He understands it. And we saw tonight in a couple of his catches, as soon as contact was coming, he wrapped both arms around it to make sure he sealed it down.
And he has just the 2 catches in this game for 31 yards. Looks like they're going to bring Pokey Wilson out of the game here. Call from above.
A little slow to get up, and he lands on the foot of Adrian Green here. Hip, on his hip or ribs or something. But he was slow to get up. The injury spotter noticed it, and he'll have to sit out at least 3.
He's got 490 yards in his last 4 games, including tonight. Collaros is going to call a timeout, signaling for a timeout, as they were in a rush to get up to the line of scrimmage here on 2nd down.
Zach Collaros really wants Pokey Wilson back in the game.
He'll have to wait for him. Croker's waiting for some direction.
Timeout, Winnipeg.
Gary Allen, or Gary Allen. Gary Peters. Gary
Allen.
I think of the country
music star, yeah.
Gary Peters was in there talking big time to the officials. Get some clarification there. It would have been a delay of game if not for the timeout called by the Bombers.
Lucky Whitehead in the game at the top of your screen. Cody Case in the slot. And the fans here not happy with the management of the game right now. Now they'll blow it in and get things going. 2nd and 7. Lions are going to bring 6. Collaros sees it. Escapes on the run to his right. Lays one out there. Clarcius tied up by Peters. Flag for pass interference.
Based on the way that Zach Collaros threw that ball, it looked like he was
Pass
almost.
interference. BC number 1. Spotted foul. Automatic first down.
He looked like the veteran quarterback was almost throwing that ball to try and draw the penalty. I mean, if Clarcius makes a big play out there with a spectacular
There's
catch.
also a penalty for illegal contact against BC number 23, which is declined.
But I don't think there's any question that Gary Peters did not let Clarcius down the bottom of your screen here come into the middle. He cut him off there and just kind of ran over him. So, but he threw that low and hard to almost draw the penalty.
Penalty gives him 24 yards. Look at that first down, 17-2 for Winnipeg tonight. Collaros, Dembski secures that ball again as Lacombo hops on his back and takes him down.
Real great play calling and offensive game planning for Buck Pierce and this Bomber offense. Just the way they've mixed things up, the way they've had success on first down. I think that's been their key since the 2nd quarter. Success on first down, puts them in a manageable situation, or short yardage like it does here.
2nd and 2. Strevler into the game, trying to push right up the middle. And he might be a little bit short, but they'll have 3rd down here.
And there's your answer on whether or not Mike O'Shea is losing confidence in the short yardage group. You can get up at the bottom of the
heads on sideways.
But I'll tell you, Strevler, after not getting that one in the first half and missing one last week, he was irate on the sideline. I mean,
a classic tablet throw.
There was a tablet that didn't do well down there.
I think if you break that, you got to pay for it.
Probably not. Probably not. I think the team would help out there.
3rd and inches. Don't need much. Strevler, good look from above. Pushing it ahead. That'll do it. That'll be enough. A little bounce off the initial contact. Got the job done, and Collaros in the offense. The rest of the offense will head back out onto the field.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have had the football for over 30 minutes in this game. They are just playing off the defense, getting the 2 and outs. An outstanding game for the Bombers secondary on defense. And they have left that BC defense out there sucking wind.
Well beyond a 2-1 advantage in time of possession in this ball game. Not even close. Bombers have controlled it all. Look at this one to Oliveira. Brady Oliveira broke the tackle and takes it down almost to the 20 at the end of the third quarter, as Winnipeg continues to dominate all facets of this football game, from essentially start to almost finish. Can the Lions change the script? Find out. Fourth quarter, Thursday night football quarters against a Bombers defense that has been really good over the last few weeks, especially. Hasn't led to wins, but they've been solid. But 2 first downs for the BC Lions.
Well, Collaros is going to get 300 yards rushing or passing, and he looks locked in, and this offense looks great for Winnipeg. The offense for the Lions, you know, football players are creatures of habit, and if things look different, it can throw you off. And again, I'm not giving VA an excuse here, and I certainly am not suggesting that they shouldn't bring Keon Hatcher back in the lineup, but switching Hatcher back to his old position and moving Justin McInnes, who has been the #1 target for Vernon Adams throughout the first part of the season, I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from the way the Bombers are playing defensively, because their back end right now is shutting it down. But Vernon Adams, even when he has time, just does not look comfortable looking down the field.
Well, Winnipeg's defense had allowed, coming into this game, 1 touchdown on their last 28 drives against. Now here's Brady Oliveira. Flag back by the quarterback.
That's what I mean about the athlete that is Christophe Bellew, who
He was quick there, wasn't he?
yeah, that was a great tackle in the open field. I mean, he's a good football
Winnipeg
player.
number 65. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Third round draft pick, number 26th overall. Bellew is going to he's going to go ahead and run this down, because if he doesn't, Oliveira scores. He doesn't make this tackle. See that opening on the outside?
Oh, yeah.
There's a holding to the right of your screen, but you see that opening.
He's gone if that tackle's not made.
Absolutely, and that you know, that's what he's capable of. And I remember the position, and in my first game, I backed up too.
2nd and 13. There'll be flags here, and now pointing from Collaros. He's saying it's on Tehema. Tehema's going to say it's on Stanley Brine. All that matters is what the official has to say here.
Yeah, and in some cases, what the command center can help with.
Offside. BC number 0. It's a 5-yard penalty. I mean,
And those ones when it's close, the command center can communicate in real time to the official and look at it really quickly and make the determination. So hopefully, as many times as they can, they'll get that right. And there's Tehema's early movement.
Valiant effort by Tehema to start pointing at Stanley Brine right away, though.
Yeah, immediately.
You know you've been caught. Five yards moves him up to a 2nd and 8. Collaros looks to his left. That's deflected up in the air and falls incomplete. And that'll bring Castillo. Boy, if you got Castillo in your fantasy lineup tonight, you're loving it. He comes out for his 5th attempt of the game.
Ben Hladek saved a big catch here by Dembski. Dembski's going to cut into the middle, and Hladek just times his jump and knocks it down because he was wide open. Tell by Collaros' reaction how open Nick Dembski was on that play.
Early here in the 4th quarter, Castillo from 36 puts it up, and once again sails it through. 5 for 5 for Castillo. What a bounce-back effort tonight after missing a couple, including a big one last week in overtime. He's been perfect. Well, we've seen flashes of that old championship caliber Winnipeg defense tonight, haven't we?
Coming into this game tonight, in the last 2 games, they had given up just 1 touchdown in 28 possessions. And right now, 13:35 to go in the 4th quarter here tonight. They're pitching a shutout.
4 of their last 5 games, they've allowed 1 TD drive or less. Crowd here at Princess Auto Stadium, absolutely loving it. Adams over the middle, down the field. Hung that one up there a little bit too high for Justin McInnes.
Michael Griffin getting involved in that one. He ends up playing the linebacker spot. Leaves the interior go route to Keon Hatcher. He drops that to Brandon Alexander, and he covering up McInnes and was right there in his hip pocket like they've been all night.
2nd and 10. Adams steps up, far side, wide open, Hollins. And he has them sitting down in front of Dietrich Nichols. And there's the 3rd first down of the game for the Lions.
Let's watch. Deep out there by Hollins.
Up to the Winnipeg 47. Pressure coming this time. Adams trying to escape. No. They'll take him down. Garbage gets him. Bombers will scoop up the ball. Officials say it was down, and they'll blow it dead.
And is Vernon Adams is slow to get up.
Uh-oh. Are things going from bad to worse? As they go to work on VA, will step away. Not good for the BC. Welcome back to Winnipeg. Here's another look at Vernon Adams, who's being taken over to the tent.
Garbutt gets him high and then kind of falls on the right leg. He reached for that immediately. Did walk off. A little bit of help from a teammate and the training staff, and is in the tent now. We'll see Jake Dolegala.
Dolegala has not attempted a pass this year. Not when you're the backup to the front runner for league MOP. 2nd and 19. Dolegala goes over the middle to Hollins, and Hollins takes it down inside the 45. That'll bring up 3rd down. Let's take a look at Dolegala in his career thus far.
Started 9 games for Saskatchewan. Completed 65% of his passes. One of those 300-yard games was against the BC Lions. In fact, it was 409.
3rd and 7. That one hit as he throws. Some pressure in the pocket. Willie Jefferson might have messed with that one.
I think over the years, one of the things that has probably frustrated tackles to no end is the fact that they might think that they have Willie Jefferson blocked, and he still reaches in and creates havoc. He's got such a long reach that you could think, you know, I got him outside, I got him blocked, I got him outside, and he gets the left hand in there and affects the throw.
Even Dolegala kind of looked at him and was like, where'd you come from?
Yeah.
Lanky arms of 6'7". Jefferson, Keon Hatcher, who's just back into the lineup and healthy. Watching on, Rick Campbell, we're told, is also in the tent with Vernon Adams. Brady Oliveira takes the handoff. Big burst ahead. Boom, one tackle, now another. Brady Oliveira won't be stopped. Taken down.
season long, we watch these Bombers struggle in different areas. They've gone through some injuries, but this is Bomber football if you go back the last 4 years. Brady Oliveira, pound the ball, get the run game going, offensive play action after that. Collaros at around 300, Brady Oliveira at around 100, physical play, and tremendous defense. That's why they've finished atop the division all these years in a row.
Well, so many years during their run of trips to four consecutive Grey Cups, it was moments like these when they had that seal-it-away drive in the fourth quarter, right? And it's just Brady Oliveira, Brady Oliveira, hammer it home, and he gets 4 more there. That'll take him up to 68 yards in the ball game. BC Lions fans right now sitting back and hoping that Vernon Adams Jr. will be okay. Collaros at 288, 26 of 32. What a night for the two-time MOP. Lucky Whitehead has it. Whitehead, look at that burst. He's got a first down. Good job by TJ Lee to track him down from behind. But Whitehead back in Winnipeg where it looks like he belongs.
Well, we've seen Dembski do this. We've seen Brady Oliveira tonight do this. And now it's Brady Oliveira on the fake. And as soon as you get your receiver outside of or outflanking that halfback in chase, in this case TJ Lee, you've got a first down. Give him the ball early, let him turn the corner, and you'll get the first down.
Whitehead hasn't been in on all the offensive snaps, but he's been targeted 6 times. He caught them all for 56 yards, and the only touchdown of the ball game. Safe to say he's been a nice addition. Back to Oliveira. And a big chunk on first down right up the gut.
See, this is the action. So this time you get Dembski, and this is what I mean about Buck Pierce drawing this one up. Dembski's going to go out here. Now, how many times have they thrown that? They've thrown it a ton. So what it does is it takes the attention of the linebackers. It takes the attention of the D-line just for a second and allows Brady Oliveira up the middle. Then they got to react to it. He gets to the second level. The next time they're going to shoot Dembski or maybe Lucky Whitehead or whomever out to the flat, give it to them out there, make the defense widen again. It's really been a masterful job of play calling and a game plan that has put the Lions defense on their heels.
Bombers bringing in some beef on the offensive line here. 2nd and 3. We'll give it to Oliveira. Cuts it around the edge of the line. He's got a first down. Close to the BC 10.
Sometimes I'll get the comment that, you sometimes say that the time of possession is lopsided. Why is it just lopsided for the defense? How come the offense isn't getting tired? They're out there all that time too. And I'll tell you why. It's because offense knows on the snap of the ball where they're supposed to go. They know exactly where they're going, so they can conserve energy, take the step to their man they're supposed to block, and block it. Defense has to react. They have to fight through those blocks, react and redirect. That takes more energy. That's why they're more tired.
Strevler into the game. Brady Oliveira takes it ahead. And they're creeping towards the end zone. And that is a place that Brady Oliveira has not found this year.
Yeah, exactly.
How crazy is that? We're in week 9. And Brady Oliveira does not have a touchdown.
Not yet.
Is now the time. Yards in this game, 409 for the Bombers, 89 for the Lions. That's got to be the most lopsided total that we've seen in the league so far this year. 2nd and 6. Brady stands into the left of his quarterback, who's got 3 options out to his left. They'll give it back to Oliveira. Breaking a tackle of Haladic. The help comes, and they're able to shut him down. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Castillo waiting and watching. Is there a chip shot in the cards? And yes, there will be.
Well, the season series is back in play. They're gonna play each other now a third time later in the season. It'll be 1 win per team, so points for and against. Well, no, they'll get to that final game. That final points for and against won't.
No, it won't matter.
Won't matter.
The old classic rubber match.
Unless that's a tie game.
Well, well, here's the thing. They play in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
Like this season series will be decided. Winnipeg goes to a bye. BC heads to Edmonton. Insert by Joubert as Castillo knocks it through. And then they meet again in 2 weeks out in Vancouver. But the loss is one thing.
Yeah.
The injury to Vernon Adams is what really football in Winnipeg. Vernon Adams Jr. has emerged from the tent. For more on that, let's send it down to John Liu.
Yeah, Dustin, Vernon Adams Jr. was in the medical tent for approximately 10 minutes. The team, of course, says that he is not going to return to this game. From what we were able to see in the medical tent, now as he's emerged, there's an ice pack on his right knee. So clearly what we observed on the field of play as he left the game is the injury. The severity of that unknown at this time. Rick Campbell will update following the game.
You hate to see it. Phenomenal season for Vernon Adams. Now hangs in the balance for the BC Lions.
Well, we won't know the severity of the injury until after they do the full MRIs and examine, but clearly it's the knee, and he didn't look like he wanted to put much weight on it at all. Put his helmet on just so he could hear the offensive calls and stay tuned in, but see, it'll be the talk of the town the next couple of days in Vancouver.
Dolagala in the game now. Jefferson again there to cause some problems. This Bombers defense tonight just won't have any of it.
There again is Kent Perkins. You see Perkins' reaction. Watch 59. He had him blocked. He has him where he wants him. And watch his reaction. He just kind of, right after that, he put his hands in the air and went, I don't know, I blocked him.
Flintoff kick hangs up there forever. Case nowhere to go on that return. Zach Collaros 5 yards away from a 300-yard game. 56 of those into the hands of that man, Lucky Whitehead.
Well, and you wonder the impact that a guy's going to make, and you know, it's one thing, as I mentioned, that when he touches the football, but it's also just that he's a speed guy. Speed guy plants a seed in the DB's minds, whether you're a veteran or not, that he can get behind you quickly, so you give him a little more space, and they've taken advantage of that space. But the game plan of shooting out to the flat and then running in the interior has worked brilliantly tonight.
Chris Strebler into the game at quarterback. As he does, keeps it right up the middle with just over 4 minutes remaining in this one.
See that again? And Buck Pierce, doesn't matter who's playing quarterback, they can both run it. And Brady Oliveira, now look at this. Shoot out here, go here, and then maybe run there. So watch Ben Hladek react. Ben Hladek takes off to go to get to Dembski from his middle linebacker spot.
What are you supposed to do?
I know. It's you're wrong either way.
Likely seen the last of Zach Collaros in this ball game. Strebler 2nd and 5. They'll do it again. Trying to find space. Runs into Green, but falls forward enough that it'll be 3rd and short.
One team is hovering, but Michael O'Shea is taking a good long look to see how far away they are. I think it's 1 yard.
Gonna leave him out there.
Yep.
Hey, go Giant!
Winnipeg Blue Bombers started the year with 4 consecutive losses. Picked up a couple of wins, but then road losses in Regina and Toronto. Not going to be 3 in a row. Zach Collaros and the Blue Bombers in full control at home against the BC Lions.
Thursday Night Football is presented by New York Fries. Give your taste buds something to cheer about at New York Fries.
Well, we were talking about how the Bombers have controlled this football game, and we mean they have really controlled this football game. Look at this time of possession. This is ridiculous.
You don't see it that lopsided very often, and you know, again, that's defense playing so well, and Zach Collaros going back to Bomber football with Brady Oliveira and great game plan, stretching the perimeter and then hitting it up in the middle. And you know, again, when you look at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers with over 60 plays on offense compared to half of that for the BC Lions, and that's how you come up with this and that.
Zach Collaros comes back into this ball game after 3 consecutive plays for Strebler. He's 5 away from 300.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be out there for an extra 5 yards.
No, it looked like Strebler stretching out the leg a little bit as he came to the sideline.
Yeah,
so
there might have been some noticed.
So BC's offense can barely stay on the field tonight. Then one of the plays that they're out there for, their star quarterback ends up getting hurt. Tough night for the visitors. Handoff. Oliveira finds a little bit of space. Halatic, Lacombo, and others in on the tackle.
Well, the injury aside, no one wants to see, not even the opposition wants to see any of the players in the league go down and get hurt. But I can tell you, as far as the game goes and the dominance for the Bombers goes, they don't feel sorry for anybody. The way that their season has gone this year and how they're having to fight their way out of a hole. Again, injured players aside, and not part of that conversation, that no one wants to see anyone get hurt. We sure hope that Vernon Adams is going to be okay.
Back to Brady Oliveira again. Winnipeg, nice victory to have heading into a bye week.
Oh yeah,
a bye week that I think they're hoping around here that Kenny Lawler might be back after it, so you get a little bit healthier. So he's still certainly within striking distance here in the West. You hold the tiebreaker against Calgary. You got that going for you right now as well. Could have been a lot bleaker if they would have gone to 2-7 tonight, but
yep,
all of a sudden things are looking pretty good for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Absolutely, climbing out of that hole, and then you've got that first game back, a chance to win the season series against the Lions out in BC,
which would be big as well. And then after that, they get Hamilton, and then 2 huge games. They're always big, but maybe even bigger this year between the Riders and the Bombers.
Are you talking Labor Day?
Yes. And of course, my favorite game of the year, the Banjo Bowl. Kicked away. Williams takes it just inside the 35. Looking for some space out there. Will not find it. Tracking him down. Tony Jones. Big story tonight, outside of a dominating performance, of course, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. This right here for Vernon Adams Jr.
Yeah, just really an unlucky one, because there's nothing dirty about the hit. Garbage just trying to bring him down to the ground. He's got him up and around the shoulder pads, and it looked like the cleats kind of locked in the turf.
Yeah.
And it sort of hyperextended almost his knee. Got the ice bag on the knee after coming out from the tent. Full examination when they get back to Vancouver will happen immediately.
On the ground to Stanback for the BC Lions. It's Edmonton, then Winnipeg, then a home and home with Ottawa to take you all the way through August. Opportunity for Dolegala here, who played a lot with the Riders. I mean, he got a good look in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and has shown some really good things. I mentioned the 400-yard passing game when he was in Saskatchewan against BC.
Well, he may have having a extended opportunity with the Lions. Stanback takes it out just shy of a BC first down. Those have been hard to come by tonight for the Lions.
You don't want to be speculating on severity of this, but every rep now is that much more important for Jake Dolegala, and will be for him when it comes to practice. A conversation with Trey Ford today, who will start in Saskatchewan in a couple of nights. Just reminded me, one of my questions to him was about his reps in practice, and pretty much all season long has not gone with the number ones. So he's got 1 week under his belt with the one receivers, and that's what, you know, if we have to see Vernon Adams on the bench for a little while, Jake Dolegala has got to get those reps because he's got weapons around him.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're going to be thrown into a spot at quarterback in this league, one that comes with Hatcher, Hollins, and McInnes ain't too shabby.
Absolutely.
Dolegala gives it to Stanback one more time, and that kind of summarizes the night, doesn't it?
It really does.
Bombers defense unloading on the BC Lions.
That's sending your text over with an exclamation mark.
All caps.
All caps.
Why are you yelling at me?
Exclamation mark. Defense that has played phenomenal tonight with a tackle for a loss.
The crowd at Princess Auto Stadium coming to their feet for their defense as they shut out the BC Lions in dominating fashion. 25-0 your final for O'Shea's Bombers.
Well, you know, this defense played so well, and the back end led the way. Tyrell Ford, speaking of a Ford, was the guy who got things started with a big pick in the first half. Really ignited the entire bench, got everybody going, changed field position. Collaros went down and got a field goal after that, and the offense started to roll.
Vernon Adams Jr. does not finish this ball game. The BC Lions take a big loss on the scoreboard, but possibly even a bigger loss on the field with their star quarterback, Vernon Adams Jr. The Bombers, though, are they back? How about that defensive effort tonight as they blank the BC Lions? Sergio Castillo, perfect, including another 60-yarder. And Zach Collaros, a tidy 295-yard game. That's going to do it for us. 25-0 the final. Good night from Princess Auto Stadium.